And this is the Mercedes-Benz Rangers postgame show, and a first step that became a giant leap right into a series lead and right into the collective psyche of the New Jersey Devils. 5-1 Rangers in Game 1 at the Rock in Newark. Welcome inside our Delta MSG studios, everyone. John Giannone, Henrik Lundqvist, and Steve Valiquette. And if you were writing chapters, Henrik, on how to script a perfect road playoff game to start a series, I don't think the Rangers missed a chapter all night.
No, you know what? We talked about it before the game here. There's a lot of emotions going into the first game. Players been waiting for this opportunity for months. So sometimes it could be a challenge to be in the right place mentally, not try to do too much. But watching this game, how the Rangers played, especially defensively, they were locked in. They were focused, and goaltending, special teams, penalty kill was outstanding, and the power play came through as well. So it checked every box for the Rangers. Really, it was a strong game for 60 minutes. I think we're going to hear from Gallant later, but he must be very pleased with their performance tonight.
You would think there's really nothing to focus on negatively about the way this game went. 32 hits for the Rangers, 23 blocked shots. They only give up a penalty shot goal. They win it 5-1. And Steve, it took them less than 5 minutes to get inside Vitek Vanacek's psyche by scoring. And it was a guy who in the last 10 years is in the top 4 in the NHL in playoff goals, and that's Vladimir Tarasenko.
Yeah, you could argue that one of the other goals scored during the game was the biggest of the game, but I thought it was the first one because it takes a bite out of the goaltender's psyche. It does. He's already struggling a little bit to start the game. He ended up on his side a few times. He was scrambling a little bit, but the Rangers, they knew how to sort it out in their own zone. Lafreniere puts this puck into space so Trocheck can pressure it. And Tarasenko, well, he's coming off the bench right now with speed, and he gets a good read on how to have two Devil players on him and then make the most to disrupt it. Miller, he stays high and then understands it's time to come in. And then look at the vertical leap and awareness here of Panarin. He gets up over 3 feet, and this opens up the slot line. We talk about this a lot. And now Vanacek is behind here. So Tarasenko is able to get to the middle of the ice. Vanacek, he never really gets full control of his body here. He gets down early. He tries to manage his way up to his feet. He gets back down. It's a bizarre goal because it goes on the ice far post, and that's usually not something you see from the middle of the ice from an NHL goalie, but I thought he was moving around a lot, and he had a hard time maintaining his composure.
But it's a great move by Tarasenko. Your first instinct as a goalie when the pass comes across is it's going to be a one-timer. So he comes across, but what Vladdy does, he's kind of cuts across, and then your next instinct as a goalie is, okay, he's going to carry this puck, but instead he shoots it, his second touch on the puck cutting across. That's why he gets caught in middle of two moves there. And we talked about it off air, he was kind of a half butterfly save and kind of locked his right leg to make that save. But it was a great move by Tarasenko not to do the one-timer, cut across and then half step, shoot it far side. So great start. Obviously, we talked also about the importance of getting that first goal, especially on the road. Yeah,
and Tarasenko now with 42 career goals in the last 10 years. You know who also has 42 career playoff goals? Alex Ovechkin. That's how productive Vladimir Tarasenko has been in only 91 playoff games, 42 playoff goals. That got the Rangers kick-started. That was 1-0 at that point. And it came after the Rangers killed a penalty. And then on a night in which special teams were so vital, what actually mattered so much to the Rangers was what happened when the puck did get through the Rangers' almost impenetrable wall. With all those blocked shots, it was Igor Shesterkin, who we had said coming in, Steve, 10-2-1 in 13 down the stretch. He was playoff ready. He sure showed he was.
Look, we talked about this a lot in the pregame. It was his best finish to a season, better than last year. He was the best goalie in the league this year over the last month, and this just carried over into this game. Like, make no questions about it. He was dynamic, but he felt the puck. You know, you see that play right there, and he felt the play. He knew when to charge and when to be aggressive. He had a great stick. We saw a number of times with him being very effective. But look at the difference between his edge work to grab ice there from his knees compared to Vanacek on the Tarasenko goal. There's a big difference there. The Rangers did a great job of giving him clear view. When he was called upon to make saves on Hughes, he was there. Hughes, I thought, had a dynamic night for them. Scored, of course, on the penalty shot. But Shesterkin, take another step forward, right? He's been through this recently. He knows what it takes. But getting through that first game was huge for him, just to carry over the regular season and build another step forward.
You definitely want to start the series on the right way. And we also talked before the game, not letting pucks through. And the way he plays the game, he reads it so well, but he knows when to attack. I love watching those clips. He's attacking the shooter at the right time. And when you do that as a goalie, you don't really have to react. It's more important to be tight. And you saw a couple saves right in front where he comes out, and instead of trying to be big, it's more about being compact. Because if you miss the frame of a goalie charging out, if you miss the goalie, you're going to miss the net. So your mindset when you charge out is to be compact, and he did it all night long. So it's a great start for him in this series.
27 saves for Shesterkin, 11th career playoff win, and a 1-0 series lead for the Rangers on what was a milestone night on two fronts for the Rangers' number 20. Chris Kreider scored twice, both on the power play. He now is the Rangers' all-time leading scorer in the playoffs. This was game number 101, his 36, now one more than the great Rod Gilbert. He also has 14 career playoff goals on the power play, and that is one more than number 9, Adam Graves, and also leads the Rangers. So on a night where we talked about, Steve, last night, almost half the goals scored in the 4 games were on the power play. Pretty much the same happening in the early part of tonight's games. Rangers get 2 with the extra man.
Well, it's so interesting, too, when you look at the 5-on-4 goals that he scored last year, 21, 6 this year. It's almost like the Devils maybe paid a little less attention to him, thinking that he's not going to be a factor. But Panarin, I wanted him to shoot right there. I want him to go down to one knee, and I thought that was the right move. But he made the better move, which was get it back to Fox in the point. Zibanejad was looking for the one-timer, so he's getting attention. You can see the New Jersey Devils stick in front. It's on the wrong side. It should be on the side that Kreider's on, and he's left alone in front. But that's the dynamic duo of what they really bring. You have to pick your poison, and everyone's really struggling figuring out who is the important player in front. Kane, he steps up on the second one where he's making his plays out of the corner. That's where he's most effective. Kreider's up top now, and they create a triangle between Fox, Kane, and Panarin. Kreider back to his spot. You can see Zibanejad sniffing around just to the left of the goalie there. And the whole play here, fellas, it's Kreider net front. Let's get it to him. He's hot. This one goes off of his knee. But that's 2 goals in a game that really was specialty teams, the Rangers' penalty kill, and their power play, and great goaltending. That was the game. We talk about it all the time. That's playoff hockey, and that's the way this one was able to unfold.
Yeah, not only did they score, but obviously when you do go on the power play, it's an opportunity for their top players to hold on to the puck, and they create chances because, let's be honest, the Rangers didn't have a ton of ice time in the offensive zone during the game, but on the power play, they really got going. They start building confidence. And if you look at the Devils on their power play, they hardly had any shots.
Yeah.
And that could become a very frustrating thing when you have your top guys out there, an opportunity to climb back in the game. You're not even generating any shots. But the Rangers, on the opposite end, great penalty kill and also generating a lot of offense from their power play. And that gives the group a lot of confidence as well.
And there's no doubt the early PKs from the Rangers did provide confidence. 2 in the first 8 minutes, 1 in the first minute 15 of the game. You mentioned it, Hank. 4 power plays for the Devils. They never had a shot on goal.
Yeah.
So what did the Rangers PK do that was so overwhelming?
Never let them set up. I mean, the best way to kill a good power play is don't let them set up. You always talk about being able to get the puck down the ice and chase it down there so you can kill time. But the bigger part of this is just not letting them get into their setup. The discipline of having good sticks. It's all about being in lanes. With help from Shesterkin, that's a play right there that he nullifies a grade A opportunity. And now you're forcing the Devils to be cute and perfect and try and go through you. And then you're able to take advantage of them on their second opportunities. So to me, it was aggressive. They were checking with their feet, but their sticks were in great spots and they're holding their blue line. Like, that's so frustrating. That takes the soul out of the Devils in this game because they never really got set up. There's a reason why they didn't get shots. It wasn't just the Rangers were doing a great job of boxing out, and it wasn't all about blocks. To me, it was really about having great sticks and then being able to turn it off and have a 2-on-1 on a power play. You're getting better opportunities offensively than they are. Their top players, as good as Hughes was tonight, and I thought he was great, he never really had a lot of time and space on the power play where he was really feeling it. And that takes a lot away from the guys. They always talk about the benefit of being on the power play is having that extra time with the puck on your stick. You feel the game. He never got that extra piece. That'll be important in game 2.
Yeah, and to your point, like the positioning on the PK was outstanding. To me, it was textbook. Just the positioning. Not once did you feel like, oh, there's an opening for the Devils to make a play in front of the net. On the 2 Ranger goals, you could see the play developing. You could see Kreider left alone, and it was a wide open lane. But when the Rangers on their PK, they never let the Devils have those opportunities. So positioning and sticks were definitely, I think, the biggest thing for their penalty kill tonight.
Yeah, it'd be tough to find who was the most important player for the Rangers tonight, right? Kreider, 2 goals, goal and an assist for Hedl, 2 assists for Panarin. How about this guy? Adam Fox had 4 assists. He now has 22 assists in the playoffs in 24 games. No Ranger needed fewer games to reach 20 playoff assists since Brian Leetch. In fact, this is the one who is now the fewest. What a night for Adam Fox. 2 primary assists of his 4 on the evening.